Okay. So test. Good morning. My name is Bruce Stewart, and I use he, him pronouns. I have the honor of being your worship associate this morning. Please take a moment to put your mind, spirit, and cell phones in worship mode. We welcome everyone here and online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke, with a special welcome to those who are joining us for the first time. We hope you stay after the service for coffee in the fellowship hall. Now let's take a second to stand up and connect with everyone watching at home. For those of you online who wish to share your joys and concerns during the Lifelines portion of the service, please put them in the chat in the next 15 minutes. Thank you. We acknowledge that our church resides on the traditional lands of the Tutelo and Monacan nations and was later farmed and developed through slave labor. We recognize and respect the ongoing connection to this land by generations of Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. May our gratitude and fellowship here echo and honor that rich history. And now please join me in reciting our words of welcome. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you express your identity, whatever your situation in life, whatever your experience of the holy, as you come seeking love, your presence here is a gift. Whether you are filled with sadness or overflowing with joy, needing to be alone with yourself, or eager to engage with others, all who welcome all are welcome here. And our covenant, we commit to supporting each other with respect and direct communication as we work in community to explore spiritual growth and to be a force for good in the world.
We could walk along the Seine, Paris in the April rain, say the magic word je t'aime, Mr. and Madame.
I hear what you say to flower, up below the Eiffel Tower, but I get crabbit in the shower, just the way I am.
E-oh, my dearie ho, where will we tarry, oh, if we are to marry, ho, where will we gain?
Let's go to some Polynesian island where it's never freezing, lovers weather every season by the coral sea.
But I'm a peely wally wide and my bikini's getting tight, and you are not a bonny sight in trunks a size too wee. E-oh, my dearie ho, where will we tarry, oh, if we are to marry, ho, where will we gain? Maybe we are gonna get married in Verona. You could be my Romeo and I'll be Juliet.
Didn't turn out awfully well? They never heard their wedding bells, or they're the pair that died themselves. Gonna you know day that?
E-oh, my dearie ho, where will we tarry, oh, if we are to marry, ho, where will we gain?
We maun take the mace to least, feast of famine to a priest. Whether we go west or east matters not to me.
The world stretches far and wide, it matters not where we bide, as long as you are by my side, happy we will be. E-oh, my dearie ho, where will we tarry, oh, if we are to marry, ho, where will we gain? E-oh, my dearie ho, where will we tarry, oh, if we are to marry, ho, where will we gain? E-oh, my dearie ho, where will we tarry, oh, if we are to marry, ho, where will we gain? E-oh, my dearie ho, where will we tarry, oh, if We are to marry, ho, why will we gang?
Thank you.
Opening words. A poem entitled A Study in Light and Shadow. Your stare paints me invisible, humanity withdrawn. My shadow holds, attends my moves, then this mist moves on. I am here, and yet for you, ignored, my shadow's gone. Though you spurn the light of day, I embrace the dawn.
Thank you, Erica, for the opening words this morning. I need to say good morning to you all, since Erica delivered our opening words. Good morning. I am the Reverend Jen Raffensperger, and I'm honored to serve. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am honored to serve as the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke. And Erica reached out to me with this poem specifically because, importantly, tomorrow is the Transgender Day of Visibility. Now, we do a vigil in the fall, but now more than ever, the visible lives of our transgender and non-binary siblings and cousins are more important than ever, as is the support for them and their living and thriving by those of us cisgender friends, loved ones, allies. We want to be a community in a place where all may thrive. Thank you, Erica. And since Erica is a very talented poet, we'll hear from her later for one of the readings. But right now, I would like to invite Bruce. Bruce is his first time as worship associate, so also a big hand for Bruce. So we're asking Bruce to light our chalice as we join Unitarian Universalist congregations, churches, fellowships, communities across the nation and the world in lighting the chalice, the flame of our faith, to be a beacon for hope for all in these times. Did something go out?
Yes.
Oh no! Well, we did have this lit.
We did.
Yep. Oh no, we lit it too soon and it went, you know what? Here, let me just light this. It's all good.
More than one way to
There you go. More than one way to light a chalice. Yes. We lit a little tea light 20 minutes early, and I guess it only had 15 minutes left in it. Light we now kindle, inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life.
Hello. My name is Jessie. I am the Director of Lifespan Faith Development here, and I use they, them pronouns. I want to invite up anybody who wants to hear a story. Come on down. This story comes with a new word. It might be new to some of you. It's actually a word that's older than English, but it might be a new word for some of you. And that word is tioshpaye. Has anyone heard that word before? No? Okay, does anybody want to try saying it? We can break it down. Tioshpaye, nailed it. Well done. Tioshpaye. Anybody else want to try it? Tioshpaye. So this word is it's got a lot to it. In my family heritage, we are Lakota. And that is, some people in history books know them as Sioux, but it is Native Americans who live out on the plains, and we are part of the Lakota Nation. So what we call our family is way more than our family. It's not just my mom, my sister, my brother. It's also someone that I call Auntie Wendy, who I'm not related to her by blood, but she sure used to tell me what to do when I was a kid. It is my chief, Chief Crow, Chief Mike Hull, who is my uncle, not blood uncle, but by adoption, my uncle. We have so many people in our Tioshpaye. I have Tioshpaye here. This is my UU Tioshpaye. There's so many people. Erica's in my Tioshpaye. River, who rang the bell this morning, is in my Tioshpaye. If you look out there, you'll see a lot of folks from my Tioshpaye. So what your Tioshpaye is are the people that you care for and who care for you. They're the people who teach you, and they're the people who sometimes provide a little guidance. Now, remember how I told you that my Aunt Wendy used to tell me what to do? Aunt Wendy used to send me to Aunt Paula. And when I had to go to turtle camp to see Aunt Paula, it was usually because I needed some fierce learning. Do you know what I mean by that? Some people call it tough love. Sometimes it's the person who will say, now in Lakota we say kola leche lechuye, which means friend, do it this way. And there's a way of saying it. There's friend, do it this way. Then there's friend, do it this way. Because you're about to spill all that stuff all over the kitchen. And I sometimes needed Aunt Paula. Now, Aunt Paula is a transgender woman. And the reason that I went to Aunt Paula was because in my Tioshpaye, in my Lakota Tioshpaye, and in the Lakota Nation, and in a lot of indigenous cultures, the people who lived here before white folks were here, it's very special to be able to know what it's like to be a boy and a girl and neither, a boy or a girl or neither. And those are our teachers. Aunt Paula was a teacher. She still is a teacher. She just doesn't have to teach me quite as much. Now I send my nieces to her. But Aunt Paula could change the language that she spoke to me in. Not the language like Spanish or English, but the way she spoke to me, because she was a very special, sacred, transgender woman. And I am so lucky to have Aunt Paula in my Tioshpaye. Now, when I go out on the land, when I go to ceremony, and where I used to be your age and get sent to Aunt Paula, guess what? People send their kids to me now, right? So I don't just teach here. I teach out there. I tell stories. I do lots of things, and sometimes I'm saying, friend, do it this way, and sometimes I'm saying, friend, do it this way. Because that's part of my sacred being of being a non-binary person, not a girl or a boy. I get to do that. And it's a little scary sometimes when I think about, in my Tioshpaye, that's my job. That can be a little scary, right? But I have my whole Tioshpaye to help me with that. And I can still go to Aunt Paula and say, Aunt Paula, I'm teaching this thing and I need help with it. Because I called her before I told you guys about Aunt Paula. And she said, Kola leche lechuye, friend, do it this way. Tell my story and then tell your story. Because every generation has people like me, like Aunt Paula, and like you who might need, friend, do it this way. So we are going to go outside. We're going to meet in the lobby and go outside because we have cooked up a huge surprise for our UU Tioshpaye. Yeah. So all of these people that are going to stay inside while we're playing outside, we have a big surprise for them. Are you ready? Let's do it. Head to the lobby.
Everywhere, everywhere you may go. We have two readings this morning. I'll do the first one. Our first reading is an excerpt from Bell Hook's book, All About Love, New Visions. Commitment to a love ethic transforms our lives by offering us a different set of values to live by. In large and small ways, we make choices based on a belief that honesty, openness, and personal integrity need to be expressed in public and private decisions. I chose to move to a small city so I could live in the same area as family, even though it was not as culturally desirable as the place I left. Friends of mine live at home with aging parents, caring for them even though they have enough money to go elsewhere. Living by a love ethic, we learn to value loyalty and a commitment to sustained bonds over material advancement. While careers and making money remain important agendas, they never take precedence over valuing and nurturing human life and well-being. I know no one who has embraced a love ethic whose life has not become joyous and more fulfilling. The widespread assumption that ethical behavior takes the fun out of life is false. In actuality, living ethically ensures that relationships in our lives, including encounters with strangers, nurture our spiritual growth. Erica?
Our tapestry. What a web we humans weave. Some reveal, some deceive. A cloth so fine and yet so coarse, some by ease, some by force. Threads of heart, threads of mind, some so sweet, some unkind. Choices always there to make, some enfold, some forsake. My soul cries out for harmony in this our shared humanity. My hope is shred by callous scorn, the fabric ripped, the contract torn. My heart is slashed by blinding hate, the strands of culture bear its weight. How long before the strands give way, forever parted, gone astray, drifting us to a barren place devoid of love, devoid of grace. It's up to you, it's up to me, to weave a stronger tapestry. Every moment of our lives, making sure that love survives. Every turn of every page, another chance to re-engage. Every needle with its thread, always sewing love instead. It's up to you, it's up to me, to weave a wiser tapestry.
Thank you again, Erica, for the gift of your poetry. I know no one who has embraced a love ethic whose life has not become joyous and more fulfilling. The widespread assumption that ethical behavior takes the fun out of life is false. In actuality, living ethically ensures that relationships in our lives, including encounters with strangers, nurture our spiritual growth. So this morning, we return to Bell Hook's work, All About Love, New Visions. On the Sunday closest to Valentine's Day in February, I did begin a sermon series based on this book as a way to invite us into considering the different ways that we love, the many different kinds of love that touch our lives, and yes, that nurture our spiritual growth. I was tripping up a little bit on the idea of an encounter with a stranger nurturing my spiritual growth, and then I remembered everyone I have ever known was a stranger to me once. When I was in seminary, pre-pandemic, when we were actually there in person, I was walking across the student lounge one afternoon and I heard someone say my name. And I recognized this person. It's a pretty small school, and we had shared a few classes, but she was not someone that I knew outside of that context. And she said to me, "Do you know, Jen, that you remind me of my high school friends in Berlin? Every day after school, we would go to a tea shop and have pastries and sit around and talk. And I would love to go sit around and have pastries with you and talk." And I was completely blown out of the water. It can be really hard to make a new friend as an adult. But here was someone showing forthrightness and also a vulnerability that made brand new affection well up in my heart. And Rika and I made a date to go have tea and pastries, and we have been fast friends ever since, even though she has since moved back to Germany. Everyone starts out a stranger. A love ethic within Rika emboldened her to speak things out loud that many of us, myself included, might think but hesitate to speak. And as her friend over the years, I have seen how it helps her create a joyous and a more fulfilling life. It also modeled for me a way of being in the world that I try to emulate, though it can be hard. I remembered and drew on my experience with Rika when I made my first friend here in Roanoke. Not every stranger is destined to become a friend, but by approaching each of our interpersonal interactions with a love ethic, we are more open to creating relationships of deep and lasting value. Commitment to a love ethic transforms our lives by offering us a different set of values to live by. In large and small ways, we make choices based on a belief that honesty, openness, and personal integrity need to be expressed in public and private decisions. What a world we would live in if everyone agreed that honesty, openness, and personal integrity need to be expressed in public and private decisions. Of course, we cannot ultimately be responsible for the ethics of anyone other than ourselves. We can commit to live lives that affirm our own love ethic, by example, by being a living example. We can commit to a faith community that offers help and support when we struggle with maintaining our own love ethic. We can grow spiritually within that community by learning about the many ways we each learn, live, struggle with the love that we strive to keep always at the center of our faith. We can commit to a focus on honesty, openness, and personal integrity in all of our relationships, both personal and public. We can learn from those around us with a different lived experience, who bravely live their own love ethic, providing us with beautiful examples of how to live in right relationship with ourselves first of all. And on that note, Erica did tell me that she had to leave right after she read, and she did. So I thanked her earlier because here in my script, because on that note, living a love ethic out loud, I wanted to thank Erica for the gift of the words that she shared with us today and honor her for being a living model of a love ethic. As she wrote, It's up to you, it's up to me to weave a stronger tapestry. Every moment of our lives, making sure that love survives. Every turn of every page, another chance to re-engage. Every needle with its thread, always sewing love instead. It's up to you, it's up to me to weave a wiser tapestry. Every turn of every page, another chance to re-engage. Every needle with its thread, always sewing. We often talk about sowing seeds, but sowing love, repairing love. When I think about the ways that we build meaningful relationships in a world that so often feels full of people who seem dishonest, not open, and not operating with any sense of personal integrity, I long for words encouraging me towards this kind of repair. These words of Erica's resonate when I think of bell hook's love ethic and the challenges that I face in every kind of relationship: friends, family, co-workers, colleagues, employees, classmates, community members. To repair our relationships, to center love in all our decisions about those relationships, to live being honest with ourselves and those around us in such a way that will improve every relationship we have, from our closest, most intimate friend to the person in line in front of us in the grocery store. These are works that will allow us to weave our lives, our shared lives, into a stronger tapestry. I'm glad we have the windows open, and I want to think about whoever those people are who needs help today. These are ways we can each choose to center love and together create something more wise than we could alone. So may it be. And I am honored and delighted that our Minister Emeritus, the Reverend Kirk Ballin, has agreed to give us a reflection this morning as well.
Good morning, everyone. And for those of you who don't really know me, I am the Minister Emeritus here, and I was the full-time settled minister here from 87 to 1999. And I underscore that I identify a full-time minister here because that is in part what I'm going to talk about, because I know there is some discussion about the prospect of calling Jen as full-time minister and not just contract minister. It's up to you, it's up to me to weave a stronger tapestry every moment of our lives, making sure love survives every turn of every page, another chance to re-engage. Commitment to a love ethic transforms our lives. We make choices based on a belief that honesty, openness, and personal integrity need to be expressed in public and private decisions. Living ethically ensures that relationships in our lives, including encounters with strangers, nurture our spiritual growth. You've heard that from Erica, you've heard that from Reverend Jen. But to me, these two combined excerpts from Erica's tapestry poem and Bell Hook's poem encapsulate the potency and intent of our Unitarian Universalist Article 2, with love at the center and values and principles in service to love. These underscore the purpose of our Unitarian Universalist communities. As a community in service to love, there need to be this. As a community in service to love, there need not be any other agenda. And it is healthy and essential to repeatedly remind ourselves of this as a Unitarian Universalist community. If there are agendas, whether they be personal or agendas of the board or agendas of the minister, that are not in step with this in service to love, sustained by values and principles, these agendas threaten the integrity of the community. This is especially true in the here and now of the world in which we live. If you are not aware of the existential threat to humanity, to all life for that matter on this planet, that we live in right now, with the threat to the welfare of peoples who are suffering under exploitive and pernicious cultures and the ever-increasing consequences of climate change, you haven't been paying attention. But this is a Unitarian Universalist community, so I know you have been paying attention. You are aware of the existential threat to life on this planet. So this community is all the more critical and essential to our own health, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and to the health of the community that we live in, including the world community. We need one another. Our communities need us. This, the Unitarian Universalist Church community of Roanoke, like all Unitarian Universalist communities, has members and friends, all of us perpetual seekers of understanding and purpose in being human in this phenomenal, mysterious universe. And like most Unitarian Universalist communities, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke has a board of members that guides the operations of this community. The board and its committees seek to keep the community intact, functioning, and sustained. Decisions range from minor ones like how to provide coffee on a Sunday morning to major ones like planning for the future by initiating a capital campaign to do a major renovation of this seriously aging building. We are deeply grateful for a committed board and its committees in service to love. And then there is the professional staff, Jesse and Carrie, who contribute their gifts and passions in service to love, to religious education, and to music, respectively. But the position that stands out in its uniqueness is the position of the minister of a Unitarian Universalist community. Such a person is hired, or more appropriately called to serve the community in ways that are determined by the membership. And contrary to what many people assume, the minister is not hired to be the authority of the community. Congregational polity is what reigns. The locus of authority is within the congregational leadership. So what the minister is asked to do is defined by the nature of the hire or the call. The call might be for full-time, part-time, contract, development, interim, etc. Specific understandings go with each role as shared to meet the needs of the congregation. Thereby, the nature of the relationship of the minister to the community is uniquely qualified by the specifics of that hire, of that call. A contract minister's hire is qualified by the board, not the congregation, and has the prospect of an end date for that contract. Whereby a called full-time minister is qualified by the vote of the congregation. Two seemingly subtle yet profoundly different contexts for a minister and for a congregation. The contract mindset is defined by limited relationships and goals, whereas the full-time relationship is defined by a covenant relationship. The contract has a built-in or flexible transition time that has a limited commitment with limited relationships. The called full-time settled minister is a profound commitment that creates a woven relationship between the minister and the congregation that is by nature more intimate and engaging than one that is defined by a contract. There's mutually greater expectations between the minister and the congregation. Consequently, when a minister is called, there must be a mutual feeling of shared commitment to the mission of a community, and one that is committed to be in service to love as fostered by the values and activities of the community. And most importantly, there must be trust. Trust that is repeatedly reinforced, repeatedly nourished. For without trust, the path to fostering a community in service to love is strewn with obstacles. And there must be a commitment to taking care of and nurturing the congregation and ministry. Keep in mind that although most folks are only seeing the minister engaging in her, his, their vocation on a Sunday morning, believe me, a minister is engaged in thinking, reflecting upon, and acting on behalf of the community in some small or big way almost every waking hour. Being a Unitarian Universalist minister has no real boundaries. So it is up to you as members of this community to help your minister in honoring her boundaries. For those boundaries don't mean she is truly off duty. So it's up to you in a shared commitment with your minister to weave a tapestry of love that sustains you, that serves the community, and that transforms our lives, lives that live ethically in fostering the world's cultures and ecosystems in service to love.
Thank you. We come now to that time in our service each week where we invite you into generosity. The work of keeping love at the center of this church is funded in part by you, funded entirely. I've been listening to too much PBS. It's funded by you. Your time, your talent, and your treasure all go to making this amazing community what it is. The ushers will now gratefully accept the offering. Thank you.
My name is Sally Garber, and it's my honor to represent the Caring Committee this morning. If you have a joy or concern, be sure and take the time to notify the Caring Committee. You can do that by either writing it in the book, which is always on the altar in the morning, or during the week it lives in the hall by the name tag board. Also, I'd like to invite anybody who's interested to join the Caring Committee. We meet by Zoom, which means it's very convenient almost any time. And in particular, we meet this Tuesday. So if you're interested, please let me know, and I'd be delighted to send you a Zoom link. Also, we always need help with rides for people and for meals. So if you're willing to provide a ride once in a while or a meal once in a while, please let me know. We always need help. So thank you. I have a long list this morning, so please bear with me. First of all, Justine Minardo has just finished chemotherapy for stage 4 cancer. She loves being bald, she says. I also need to let you know that Alice Davis is still in the hospital. She'd love to have cards, emails, and texts. They brighten her day. Dorothy Hall is celebrating finally being scheduled for back surgery on April 7th. She welcomes love and light and texts and emails, but no cards, she says. Gary Mason has returned to UVA for treatment for his pain. Gary welcomes calls right now. They really help distract him from his constant pain, and I have his phone number if you need that. Poor Sherry Bernath fell and broke her wrist, so you'll be seeing her around with a cast very soon. If you'd like to light a candle this morning on something that you hold in your heart, please come forward during the music meditation, and as you do so, please use both sides of the altar.
Oh, the summertime is come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go?
I will build my love a bower near yon pure crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will ye go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go?
If my true love, she were gone, I would surely find another where wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go?
Oh, the summertime is come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go?
May our prayers be heard and our hearts be restored.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you, kinfolk, so much for being here. What a gift your music is this morning. I'm so glad that you're here. Heck yeah. And I think you're set up in the back, right? So people, okay. So afterwards, if you want to talk to them some more, buy some stuff. But this is that time that we give to those things that are weighing heavy or lightening our hearts. So I'm lighting a candle today. Again, the whole service couldn't be for it because of planning reasons, but Transgender Day of Visibility, as we embrace and consider all of those beloveds near and far who may have struggled with their own identity and are now facing challenges. We know this population of folks has faced challenges throughout history, but we also know that our transgender beloveds have always been here and will always be here. And no matter the threats that happen now, we will stand with them. We light this candle for them today. And since it happened earlier, I'm going to light a candle for whoever these ambulances and fire trucks are responding to this morning, and for all of our first responders. And as I do each week, I will light a candle for everyone who is watching online. We appreciate your presence here with us today, even though it be virtual and not physical. And now I will invite you into a moment of prayer and reflection. Make yourself comfortable in your seat. Close your eyes if that is comfortable for you, or soften your gaze. Spirit of life and of love, we know you move in the world even though sometimes you feel remote from us. We see loving, we see non-loving, non-open, non-honest decisions being made every day, and it frustrates us and it tangles our hearts in a web of concerns that feels too large. But we also know that web, that interconnected web, connects more than the non-love. Love is louder than hate, goes the saying, and there are days that doesn't sound right to our ears. But we know within that love grows, that love is generative, and that love will outlast. Focus your own heart on the ground beneath your feet, the air you breathe. Take a moment to close your eyes when it feels like too much, and know that others are feeling the same way, and that together it is easier for us to bear that weight and to weave that wiser tapestry between us. So may it be.
And now, as we draw close to the end of our time together in worship this week, we turn our attention from within our own community and their joys and concerns, and we prepare to engage with the world in the week ahead. We'll begin with a few announcements. First, right after service today, we'd love to invite you to grab a snack or coffee and then stick around in the sanctuary and fellowship hall for a presentation and question and answer session with Rev. Jen to learn more about the process of her ministry with us, moving from contract to settles. Second, today's monthly climate and clean energy rally has been moved to 1 p.m. to allow all those who wish to attend both the rally and the presentation. And third, on Sunday, April 13, we will be welcoming new members to UUCR during service. And after service, we'll be having a share fair. This is your chance to learn more about various volunteer opportunities, big and small, to help you get more connected here at UUCR. Whether you're a new member or have been around for a while, it's a great chance to learn more about all the awesome things going on in our congregation. And last, the focus groups gathering information and feedback for a proposed capital improvement campaign are going well. Right now, I'd like to invite Chris Yates to come share a little bit about her experience.
Good morning. I'm Chris, as Bruce just said, and I've been asked to share very briefly about my experience of attending one of the focus groups. I went to the first one, which was held right after last Sunday's service. Didn't really know what to expect, and I have to say it was a really wonderful experience. So much, I learned so much. I knew that our building was old. I didn't realize that it was built in 1949. I knew that we had some issues with things like electrical and plumbing, that sort of thing. Accessibility, I knew about those. But there were other things that I didn't know. The team, consisting of Celeste, Gordon, and some other folks, has really put in so much effort and research into the feasibility of what can be done to address our various issues, and presented the information to us and gave us the chance to ask questions. One of the things I found most beneficial was it gave me the chance to hear from other members of the congregation about what they thought that we needed as in terms of the building, to hear other people's perspectives on that. So I found myself feeling very excited about the vision of what we may be able to do here to update, improve, enlarge our building. It's a long time overdue, and I'm supposed to remind you all that they don't ask you for money at the focus groups, so no worries about that. But I do strongly encourage everyone to attend one of these focus groups. They're having quite a few of them. I believe Gordon is doing some registration. He's got some registration forms. It's going to be in the fellowship hall.
On their seats.
Oh, they're on their seats. Okay. There wasn't one on my seat, so I didn't know that. Anyway, I do encourage you to sign up to attend one of these focus groups. They're so informative, and they really want to hear your feedback about what you think our church needs in terms of the physical plant. So please do take the time to come. Again, I found it a very uplifting time to see the vision and to feel the excitement in the room among members of our congregation to think about how we might go forward in a better way physically. So let's make that commitment. It's only about an hour to go to one of these focus groups, so do try to attend one. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And I think they were on every other seat, Gordon, right? So if you didn't get a seat with a sign-up sheet, they will be available. You can pick them up. Gordon has them. You can get them in the fellowship hall. So please sign up for one if you know what you can commit. You do not have to sign up to attend. If you realize you have free time, you can just show up, right? Okay, make sure I've got my information right. Okay. I would like now to invite Bruce to extinguish our chalice as we join with Unitarian Universalist churches, congregations, communities across the nation and the world, knowing that while the chalice flame does not burn here in the sanctuary all week, we carry the flame of our faith within our hearts.
Well, we have one more song for you guys, and I just want to thank you all for having us here as part of your service. It's been wonderful. We thought we'd ended up with a fun one, because a little joy never hurt anybody, right? We've passed through St. Patrick's Day, so we're going to play one of those St. Patrick's Day classics that involves audience clapping.
During the chorus, there's going to be a segment where we'll finish the line, and that'll be 4 claps. The next line, it'll be 2 claps, and then the last one, it'll be 1. Let's do a test chorus to teach him how it works.
Did you get that?
For anyone who's ever been to a St. Patrick's Day show, I'm sure you've heard the song before. It's called The Wild Rover. The chorus sounds like this. And it's no, nay, never. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, nay, never, no more. 1, 2. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. Perfect.
They got it.
I've been a wild rover for many's a year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more.
And it's no, nay, never.
No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover.
No, never, no more. And if you know the chorus and you want to sing, please be our guest.
I went into an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady my money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom as yours I could have any day.
And it's no, nay, never.
No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover.
No, never, no more.
Then out of my pocket I took sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskey and wines of the best, and the words that I spoke sure were only in jest.
And it's no, nay, never.
No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover.
No, never, no more.
I'll go home to my parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they embrace me as oft times before, then I never will play the wild rover no more.
And it's no, nay, never.
No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover.
No, never,
No more. One more time.
And it's no, nay, never.
No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more.
I didn't tell Betsy about this, but we're doing something new. I'm benedicting out here so that I can leave and meet people at the door, even though we're all staying today. It's a whole thing. Thank you. That was, again, we have these beautiful musical moments, and then I have to add more words to them. Rove ye forward in this week with love in your heart, even when that feels hard. It's there. It's under the ground. It's in the water. It's in the air. It's all around us. So maybe, amen. And then I can turn over here. And oh wait, I'm not turning in my microphone. Oh, excuse me. Should I use this microphone for the presentation, or should I have a? I should